All right, so we just finished talking with Sherese about her experience in Vegas and Miami.
Clubbing.
And exactly, clubbing in Miami and Vegas. And I kind of want to segue into something interesting called DMs.
Direct messages.
Right? That Instagram direct message, you know, it's notorious for guys sliding into girls' DMs, sending that message, that pickup line. And I kind of want to know, like, what has been your experience and your opinion on it?
I mean, okay, let me start with I love the DMs. Not only...
Okay.
Okay. I always hear like, oh my god, I
was like,
hate
not
guys
only...
DM me like, you know, random dick. Okay.
Okay.
I've heard that some girls don't like it because like, why? Like, it's stupid, and I get a random dick pic here. But so okay, you like it, please. I'm cutting you off. You go on, please. You're the pro.
Okay, because I was gonna say I like it because not only is it great for like a little interruption. No, not only is it great, yes, guys can slide in your DMs, girls can slide into your DMs, but I like it for the network opportunities about it, and just like you can, it feels tangible to talk to anybody, no matter who they are, celebrity, whatever. It's I mean, like if they answer you, like, you know, but so yeah, I love DMs, so I am not opposed to anyone sliding in my DMs. It's definitely happened. I went on a date with a guy who slid in my DMs, and
Tell me more.
It was pretty much because he was so like confident about it. Well,
did you know the guy
no.
beforehand?
No. He found my profile. He was like,
okay.
I think he opened with like, you know, you're really beautiful. Would love to get an opportunity to talk to you or something. And so I looked at his profile and I couldn't because it was private. But I was like trying to zoom in on the profile picture, and I was like,
you want to see what he looks like.
Is
he cute?
Is
he worth?
So you didn't even bother to follow him to take a better look at his pictures.
So
did you eventually take a better look at his profile pics and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
And did that entice you more, or?
Well, yeah, I had to assess whether this is someone I wanted to meet up with.
That's important.
Yeah, because like he saw my profile, he saw all the photos I shared. It's fair enough if I can do the same.
Yours is public, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his was private, so of course you had to follow him in order to see them. Okay, makes sense.
But I have had so it's definitely happened to me throughout, you know, every couple of weeks I'd say I'd get like a random DM or a random follow from a guy and then a DM. So I like it.
What would you say it would take, because you already said you went out with this one guy, what did it take him or what would it take other guys to
Here, I'm giving
at least get your number, or at least
to be successful
in taking you out.
Okay,
sort of thing.
Well, in general, general advice for girls or for men who want to slide into a girl's DM.
Yeah.
Don't open with hey or hi or one word,
absolutely.
because that I'm just gonna delete.
Yeah,
like
boring.
what? Okay, you have access to my page. You can see something. You can start. Like you can make a better opening than that. Like so, for example, look at my latest pic and be like, oh, I really like your hair, and that, like something different that'll make me want to respond to you or be like, oh, like you know, something creative.
If a guy says, hi, I hope this isn't too forward, but I would love to make you my future second wife.
Run.
I think we know how that's gonna go.
Is it?
And so I love DMs.
That would be a yes.
Yeah.
No. So I love DMs now because like it won't go straight into your inbox. It'll go into like requested. So it'll be like in the top right corner. So I get to really see if I want to even message this guy or not. So,
yeah.
Okay. I like that too.
Now let's say whatever, the guy opens up, you know, with a clever pickup line, but you go into his profile pic and you notice it's like his Instagram page or whatever. You notice he might not look up to par.
You're saying he's ugly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Some girls will look into them and be like, this is going to be a no for me. He sounds clever. He sounds socially savvy, but it might not be for me.
Yeah.
And
how would you feel about that?
I've had to do it before. It's fine. So there was a guy that slid in my DMs and like we're kind of like a short back and forth, but I didn't want to do too much because I don't know what you look like because his page is private again.
Oh, of course. Okay.
And so instead of just following him because I didn't really want to do all that, I was like, can you send me a picture? Because you want to take me out to dinner, but I don't know what you look like.
You look like.
Yeah.
How am I gonna find
exactly.
you?
Yeah,
how am I
literally.
Gonna find you? Yeah.
And so he sent me his pictures, and I was like,
no.
I don't know if that's gonna work out. And then
that facial expression says it all.
Like,
okay.
Can I ask why? Was it my picture? And I just didn't answer because, like, let's not get weird here. I mean,
you ghosted him? She ghosted him.
I ghosted, and
okay.
So yeah. So that does
It
happen.
happens, guys. It happens. All right.
But what I'd like to say is I'm also here for the ladies sliding into guys' DMs as well. I'm here for it.
Really? You want them to do it too? Ladies, slide into guys' DMs.
Why not? You have nothing to lose. It's like...
Never happened.
I've
never feel insulted.
Why?
It's never happened.
That a girl slid into your DMs?
Never.
Oh, no.
It could.
I don't know how many guys...
Unless it's a robot.
Yes. Oh. Remember back in the day, like...
Yeah, unless it's those robot
five roses or send me roses. I don't remember what app it was.
Meet me
Tinder.
at tinderchecks.com. Like, oh, fuck you.
I've asked guys and they're like, yeah, I would love or I'd like it if a girl slid in my DM. So I just, I think it's fine.
So on the way of DMs, really you come to dating apps. What do you think about dating apps? Because isn't it the same premise?
I don't like them. I hate them. I hate them so much.
Why?
I actually, my friend wanted, hey Jolie, my friend wanted me to get a Tinder. She's like, let's get one. So
Get a Hinge, Tinder, and Bumble. And Coffee Meets Bagel. Yeah, why not?
At the same time, yeah. But no, I haven't done Coffee Meets Bagel, but I have over the years tried like Bumble, didn't like it. Tinder. Okay, so one thing I'll say is when I travel, so when I go to the States, I'm a little curious, want to see what the city offers. I don't have much time there, so I will open the account.
You'll dabble.
Yeah, I'll just, just to see, So.
Okay.
So, but you don't like them in general.
Have you ever been out on a date off Tinder or Bumble?
Yeah, off Tinder, nothing happened. Off Bumble, no. I just find it so hard to connect with someone actually on those dating apps because I'll get like 50 matches.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe out of those 50 matches, 30 conversations on the app.
Yeah.
But like lower percentages as we go down because out of those 30, who's really asking for my number? Sometimes it falls off because they ghost because they have other options and it's like I get it, but like
pen pals and
stuff. You know what I mean?
You called it something. What'd you call it?
Called what?
Having, when you're on Tinder, dating apps, and you're swiping
there's
much.
a word for it. Yeah, it's called the paradox of choice.
Of choice.
What ends up happening when you have so much choice in front of you, you kind of get this paralysis of like, all right, who am I going to commit to like talking to, want to get her number, get to know her, or of course with girls that might work, right? So that's what I call Tinder, Bumble, and all those dating apps. You're going to get that paradox of choice to the point where you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what happens? So I'm like trying to think, what are these guys doing? Like they were just messaging me yesterday, now they disappeared.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like even if you switch it, and it's a guy that's like, oh, like this girl, Sally was talking to me, Beth was talking to me, Mackenzie was talking to me, and then they stop because they're also getting swiped and swiping on other guys. So
I'm sure it happens for girls. 100%.
It's just like it's just this machine of I swipe, I like you, you're not funny enough, onto the next one. Oh, he's a little bit Jose's cuter. Yeah. Oh, Jamal's hotter. Oh,
I guess so.
Eric
So it's the same thing with girls.
No?
I get it, but like I guess I just don't like that whole disposable feeling of dating apps.
That's the problem,
and that's why I'd rather
Both do it. That's the thing. Guys treat it that way, but I feel like girls definitely treat it that way because let's say a girl, she'll get like, as you said, 50 matches like yourself. Yeah. Let's say out of those 50 matches, 10 of those guys are talking to you, right? You're going to be comparing and contrasting all those 10 guys, right? Nothing can be wrong with, let's say, guy number one. No. You'll just say guy number two, I kind of just find him, I don't know, cuter or has better conversation. So you kind of will like dispose of the guy, even though there's nothing wrong with him, he's just not for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it's like a game of like who...
At the end of the day, I feel like it is a game of musical chairs, almost. You have your options and you slowly start eliminating. You have all that choice that you slowly start to eliminate, or you either don't make a choice and you could kind of eliminate yourself from that pool.
I guess. I'm not here for it, and I don't like it.
But you're like...
But I like Instagram.
Instagram and IRL?
Yes, obviously.
In real life?
Yeah.
That's... I am a big proponent of talking to people in real life. Because you get to see facial expressions. You get to see
hidden.
Body language. Walking down the street, excuse me, do you know the time of... what's the time? Or where's the nearest, I don't know, coffee place, Starbucks, Aroma Coffee? No, honestly, I'm lying. I just want to talk to you. I think you're pretty. Like,
okay, don't do that. That's scary.
Is it? But think about, like, I don't know, like, How else is a guy supposed to get your attention? Hi, you're pretty. No, something that at least gets you down. Hey, do you know the way to this? And oh yeah, I think this is honestly I'm like I just want to talk to you.
That happened to me before, and the guy turned out to be a psychopath. That's why I just don't react well to it. Like, please come, honestly, like with your
I think
full
you're
intention.
cute.
Do you have the time, Sherese? Do you have the time? Oh, sorry. Did I call you
No,
Sherese?
okay,
I
let
didn't
me
know
tell
your
you this
name.
one. This guy, the way he brought me in, the way he drew me in was being like, okay, so I was leaving my job at the time. I worked at Cafe Mirage, Young and Shepherd, and I saw him as I was leaving.
Don't give him that promo. Okay, whatever.
They don't even, there's no location there anymore. So as I was leaving, this guy saw me leaving there. He was like, hey, I don't know what he said, but he was like, hey, the government's hired, like where I work is hiring. And I was like, oh, really? I was like so gullible and young. I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, let me just like, can we find somewhere to talk? Let's go over here. It's quiet. So I follow the stranger. I know, stranger danger. I follow this guy.
He says, let's follow. Okay, that's the first. Don't.
I know. I was so dumb. I know.
I never. You don't say, hey, follow me to this corner over here.
He's like, let's go find somewhere quiet to talk. Like, and then, so we went somewhere quiet. And then as soon as I sat down, he was like, yeah, so I really think you're cute and I want to ask you out. And I was like, but the job?
The job.
He was like, yeah, no. I want to ask you out.
I
was like, what?
I think maybe it would have been better if he stayed in the same location and not say, hey, follow me to this dingy alley over here. Because if you stay in the same location and you say, this job's hiring, you go, oh, really? I'm like, no, I'm joking. I really just thought you were cute. And you stayed still.
Literally what happened.
Yeah, man. Like, if you stay in the same spot with people around where she's so comfortable, and she's like, oh, you're so stupid, like, and I thought you were cute, blah, blah, blah. No, thanks, I have a boyfriend. All right, it's whatever, but I still, hey, you're beautiful, blah, blah, blah. I thought I'd try to talk to you, because how else am I supposed to, right? Like, I think guys should try that, and hey, let me know how it works for you, because I think that would work better than a club, and maybe better than some apps. Right?
Well, guys are just so scared. Like,
pussies!
Listening to...
At least here in... Would you say here or just in general?
Here.
Yeah.
Here. Because, like, listening to you guys talk about the way you approach girls and stuff, I'm like, where'd you learn that? Like, where did you guys learn what you know? And
3, 2,
trial and error.
1. What was it called?
Google.
What was the book?
What?
The Game?
The Game.
The Game.
An actual book.
It's an actual book called The Game. I'll give you... Okay, so The Game is basically the story of a guy who had a lot of unsuccess with women, all right? And he went through this journey of entering this pickup community where he met certain people who would teach you methods and procedures of how to pick up women. So it's a story of his life and how he entered that community and what they did to pick up girls. And the funny thing is, the main, let's say, character protagonist of that story is a guy that happened to have been born here in Toronto.
Yeah.
So he said a lot of the times his biggest struggle of picking up women was like here in the city. So he said if you can make it here in Toronto, you can make it anywhere else.
Yeah. And I think Toronto is a tough. It
is a tough city, and I feel it's just the people in drugs. It's not girls or guys; it's the whole people. I feel like we have this kind of like facade or barrier with us, where it's very fast paced. We're all in our own business, screw-face sort of thing.
I think we think we're New York, or we think we're somewhere else.
Really annoying.
I've been to Germany, Italy, and Austria, and party there. And people are just more fun-loving. And friends have been to Spain,
exactly,
Dominican Republic. Like, people are just having more fun. But Toronto, I don't want to say this, but like, you always, you have a girl that thinks she's the hottest thing in Toronto. Let's say using numbers, you say, oh, she's a 9 or a 10 in Toronto. In LA, she's a 5. Meaning she's not
Miami,
that special.
Maybe like a 6 or something like that, right?
Yeah, like there are people that hold themselves much highly, which you're allowed to, but when you take it further and now you have this stuck-up attitude, that's why Toronto, like, I feel like if you do make it in Toronto, if you can, what term is, pull girls left, right, and center in Toronto, I think
you can make it anywhere.
You can make it
That's
anywhere,
when you know.
yeah, honestly. Yeah. American girls are very, like, we're looking forward to,
Oh, yeah.
Things.
American girls are, I definitely say, I don't want to
approachable.
use the word easier, but it's more like they're more
approachable.
open to like, hey, let's have a conversation.
They want to have fun. Girls just want to have fun.
I'll tell you right now, I remember going to Niagara with my group of friends or whatever like that. We're going out to the club. You know, Toronto girls will always look great. I always said Toronto girls are one of the sexiest looking girls out there and stuff like that. But I do remember leaving the hotel in Niagara, and these group of American girls were very like, oh, hey, oh my gosh, these guys are so like so-and-so X and Y. They're very like expressive sort of thing. Where I find Toronto girls, it's all like very beauty-based, but kind of like they lack that social kind of aspect of it as well.
Close. And even before we wrap this up, because it's going for we've been talking about this, it's such a great topic. Do you remember when we were in Montreal?
Yeah.
A few years ago, our last night, and a few of our friends, like we were just talking with some girls, and they were all from Washington or somewhere in the States.
That,
we had a bottle. We had bottles because it was last night. We just wanted to party. But the girls, as they came to the table, they didn't just jump to the bottles. They were there to have conversation. They were willing to come to talk and have fun. Yeah. And even though as you're talking to them, like, hey, like what? You know, what do you do? Like, hey, don't worry about that. Let's just have fun. Like, and like, those conversations happen. You go, this is different. This is much different. Abnormal. This is abnormal, exactly. Because with the Toronto girl, you're scratching, clawing, fighting tooth and nail to get something out of it. So the funnier you are, or maybe the meaner you are, not mean, but just saying something that would make you react, good or bad, is an in. It's a win. Of course. Right?
I feel like that will amplify their attraction.
Yes, exactly.
It's like something even I noticed with girls, like American girls versus Toronto girls here. A lot of Toronto girls, they are a little standoffish, yes, and they can have a mean look on their face, and it's like if you smile at them while walking past them, it's like you might not get one back, and it's like, all right, chill out. Like, chill out. Happens, man. But I remember meeting the American girls, and I knew they weren't from here because they approached me. They were like, hey, how's it going? Like, what's your name? I was like, where are you from?
Where are you from?
Exactly.
Because you ain't from here.
Oh my gosh. Same thing when we went to Punta Cana. Yeah. And there's many girls, like, whatever. We're at a club in Punta Cana, whatever like that, and we see this group of people, and like, we were able to tell, like, what did we say? We're like, I get a feeling that these people are from Toronto. I don't know why. The guys were dressed were like kind of like a fuck boyish kind of style that you'd find here on King Street at the club, and the girls seemed super hot. Of course, most of the people at the club in Punta Cana, they're either going to be locals or foreigners from, let's say, Canada, US, or whatever.
Outside of the resort.
Exactly. It's a club outside of the resort of Punta Cana. And for some reason, this group of people kind of just stuck out like a sore thumb to me because they were dressed in a particular way and they carried themselves in a particular way. It's like, okay, they look like they belong on King Street on Toronto.
And you and I said that to each other. That's a club
district down here in Toronto. We both said it to each other. And I remember I was like, okay, these guys are kind of dressed like fuck-boyish kind of ways. And then the girls kind of like, they're super hot, but they kind of seem standoffish.
They were sitting on there was a booth, but they were sitting on their phone, just doing their thing. And the guys were like, what bottles are we getting? And you watch them like, you're from Toronto. And I remember I told you this, and well, maybe. And you went somewhere else. I think you went to get drinks. I went to the washroom. Yeah. One of the guys I saw, like, walked in, and I'm washing my hands. I look at him, and I say, yo, my man, you from Toronto? Yeah. And he goes, yeah. I'm like, you go to one club, I think, whatever club it was. You go to this club. Maybe it was Citizen or Escobar or somewhere. It was like, yo, that's my favorite place. Yeah. And we just started laughing and joking. I'm like, I knew you guys were from Toronto from when you walked in. Yeah. It's just the way.
There's a Toronto uniform.
There's a uniform.
That's what I said. As I like to call it, the fuckboy uniform.
Oh my God. There is a uniform.
There is a uniform for it, yeah.
For the guys and for the girls. The girls, you can be. And just sitting down on the couch on your phone, or just like drinking and
taking selfies sort of thing.
That's it. And you watch
not
it like
caring about any other mans and stuff like that. Yeah. Mans try to talk to you kind of like sort of thing. But hey, they're just kind of like
maybe they have their own boyfriends and maybe they have their own whatever. But there's some girls I know that are single that we've gone out and we've gotten bottles and you're chilling and I look around and I've said before and I think episode 2. You don't want to leave your booth because you don't know who's around to start taking your bottles. Yeah. So you stay in that booth. And because you can't dance in that booth, you're staying still. Either you're standing in front and you're talking to people, or you're just looking. Oh, God. And it's like, man, why don't you just walk out and do your dance and walk back in? You know what I mean? But like, I mean, that's the uniform. That's exactly. You can tell who's from Toronto and who's not. You can
really
tell.
Sad.
It is. It is sad, and
I find it intriguing.
Let's break that stereotype, all right, people, guys,
we
girls.
Gotta do better.
Let's be friends and talk to each other at
be more
clubs and bars.
approachable.
Yeah,
absolutely.
In life, because that's how you network in life. That's how you get jobs. That's how you get. You learn to meet people.
Exactly.
Right. Just socializing. But listen, we've gone on, man.
Off topic a little bit.
Maybe a little bit, but it was all.
I like it. It's all good.
on the realm of clubbing, DMing,
socializing.
Canadians, I guess.
Girls and guys, all the free
DMs.
drinks you've gotten.
Yep.
Everything.
All the free drinks I've gotten.
Yeah, and many more to be gotten.
Flowing like Niagara Fall, right?
Right. The drinks, they'll always keep coming.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't drink, so I don't.
Well, the water will always keep coming. Again, Sherese, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
I hope you really enjoyed my story.
No, we did, and we hope you can come back again to share more stories with us for this summer. Because hey, we'll keep
summer
going.
body tips.
Summer body tips, yes.
Because I'm on my fitness thing. We didn't discuss fitness, but
That's another one. That's for another
Whatever.
one. Hey, you'll come back about fitness. We talk about fitness. We talk about health. Today about partying. Next fitness. Then we gotta break it up. Break up the the good from the bad, the fun. Anything to say?
You know what? All I want to say, guys, is I always conclude it this way. I want you guys to like, subscribe, and comment what you think of this 5th episode.
That's notification bell. Ding.
That was episode 5. Lissandra Lopez.
The Labs, Dolapo
and
Sherese Nicole.
Plug us in right above our heads.
Right there.
All right.
Hey, thank you. We love you.
Love you guys.
Cheers. Oh, should we cheers?
Oh,
cheers.
I guess you wonder where I've been.
I like that.
Beautiful.
That was a good episode.
That felt.
Guys, I'm gonna keep buying bottles for every episode we have because I kind of like drinking. We have
I yelled pussy. I was like, shit.
Love
That's
it.
so loud.
And I can't